Howdy, howdy, and welcome to another wonderful trash take. Today is going to be a longer one. I wanted to watch the Sam Hyde show, This Is You. For those of you who don't know, Sam Hyde is a political provocateur, I'd say. He's a little more of an edgy political commentator. He's more right-leaning by a long shot. He previously had some bangers where he was directly calling out Elon Musk for H-1B visas and trying to infinitely import foreigners to compete with Chinese illegal labor practices. And he recently made a video talking about basically the brutal murder of the Ukrainian refugee and Charlie Kirk dying. I wanted to give this a day or two before I made some content on it. This is a hot video from Sam Hyde. That's what we're doing today. I know I have a bad habit of talking over the video, so I'm going to do my best here, but this is a longer video, so I don't want to pause it that much. I don't want my video to be a 2-hour video in response to Sam Hyde's hour video. But without further ado, let's go. I'm going to preemptively set the playback speed to 1.25.
This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this right here is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this is you.
Very strong imagery.
And this is their reaction when you are killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the joy they feel when your sister is raped.
I want to give you the context. Sam Hyde was the one to come up with the original quote of they want you dead and they think it's funny. It was a lot more, and I'm sure he'll integrate it here as well, but he was the original person to come up with this. I know Sam Hyde gets a rep of just being some crazy right-wing comedian, but this dude is intellectual. If you are able to read a room well, you can probably tell he's one of the more intelligent people there. He just hides it with humor extremely well, in fact.
When your children are castrated, brainwashed to hate you, this is their ecstasy when the floor of the subway car is awash in your blood.
Your
This
sister's
is you.
blood.
Make
Yep, that's another. That was the high schooler who got stabbed in the heart at a track meet. And then a bunch of people started GoFundMe saying, I'm glad that black kid killed the white kid. There was a bunch of like racially charged people donating to that, saying some absolutely horrendous and horrific shit.
no mistake, that is a symbol. That is you. But this won't last long. They can't help themselves because they're so ugly and so low that the only joy they can experience, the only good that they can envision, is to take something beautiful or innocent down to their level. And when they can't do it, the next best thing is blood.
Yes, they can't compete in the realm of the free market of ideas, so they immediately resort to political violence. Every political person advocating for violence is a coward and a bitch. And the only reason they go that far is because they are losing in the free market of ideas every single time.
This is Charlie's family.
So them
And
laughing.
these are his children who will never be able to hug their dad and grow up with.
I do want to add context to this. Sam Hyde, the day after Charlie Kirk was killed and seeing all the crazy people online, put out a tweet basically saying, call this number and call in. So more than likely, this is filmed directly on the heels of Charlie Kirk dying, because the abhorrent, constant barrage and spam of everyone cheering for Kirk's death, I'll be honest, it had me extremely emotional. Even I was like, this is crazy. These are my fellow Americans openly cheering. I thought we were the United States. And I've never felt more alone in that moment. And now I realize I'm not alone. There's a lot of people out there who are also saying this shit's batshit crazy.
With a murdered father. And these are the people who smugly revel in this. And they won't stop with just Charlie.
No.
The boats are burned. There's nobody coming to help. The barbarians are at the gate. This is the fall of ancient Rome that we are living through currently.
Who's going to come help the United States? We're the ones with the infinite money that we write checks to help people with. Everything happening in the world. What the point I'm trying to make is, if America gets into a major crisis, I'm not expecting anyone to even remotely come close to helping us at all. We are the last bastion of democracy in this terrible and cruel world. And that is the only thing that keeps me going, knowing that America is the right country to be in. And I was lucky enough to be born here.
And what happens in the next 2 weeks is going to determine the future of mankind.
What does leadership
That's not
do?
hyperbole. That's just how it is.
Whether or not we outcast those openly cheering Yes, yes, he's right. If we don't do something about the people openly cheering, it's not going to get any better. They don't need jail time, but by God, they need to be exiled. They need to be exiled immediately.
Notes before we start. I've seen some Twitter posts from people lamenting, apologizing, because their last interactions with Charlie were less than kind. And
the dude who was talking to Kirk when he died was crying on air with an interview with CNN, and I completely understand that. He was literally trying to make a point about how trans people aren't violent and how leftists in America aren't violent as a leftist killed Kirk. That dude is going to become so radicalized, it's going to be a complete 180. He got immediately shown his ideas are completely wrong by the person engaging him in free and genuine thought was brutally murdered in front of him. That is fucking crazy.
Congratulations if that's you, because that's proof that you have a soul. And similarly,
Proof you're not an NPC.
I think we had to cut 30 minutes from the last episode of Sam Hyde Show because I called him something not nice. Some people offering their condolences, paying their respects, etc. Started off with a qualifier. Well, I didn't agree with Charlie on everything.
Yes, the qualifier is intentional. It's to try to keep their leftists, who they know are going feral, at bay.
You know, essentially that he wasn't based enough. And this is fine too. We all have some strain of autism that is compels us to constantly signal how based we are, and that's fine.
Yeah. I understand why they're doing it. These people more than likely do have a soul, and they're fearful of their audience and the backlash. Look at Dean Winters. He came out crying when he heard the news. Dude was emotional because he had a friend in the audience and he knew Kirk's family was there. And he was like, I felt for them in that moment. And I could feel that. But then he came out and apologized saying, I wasn't crying for Kirk. I was crying for everyone else. And I was like, bro, this is like, what are we doing? You're trying to appeal to the people that are laughing. That's who you're trying to appeal to right now. You're trying to appeal for the people that are cheering. What the fuck?
And it's fine because we're stuck with this problem together. We're in this together. This is banter. It's for us to talk about. It's for our side to talk about. It's not for outsiders to try to use logic against us, to try to hold us to rules that they don't hold themselves to. That's all that needs to be said about it. The fact is, Charlie Kirk is a martyr. He is a Christian white martyr. If you are Christian, if you are white, if you're a shitlib who miraculously somehow still believes in free speech, Charlie Kirk died for you.
He died debating people in the marketplace of ideas. He died for freedom of speech. That's why me seeing Pam Bondi come out and say we're going to start putting hate speech laws on the book and arrest people for hate speech is fucking ridiculous.
And he probably would have done it, anyway. I talked to Alex Stein a lot about him. He probably still would have done it if he knew he was going to die doing it.
Kirk was that kind of a person. He would have, if he had been told today's the day I'm going to die, he would have still gone there. Like, that guy was crazy with his faith, and he would have done it. And I don't mean that as an insult. I just mean that as in he was really fucking noble.
We're all united now in a battle for the soul of mankind. And by the way, this is why we have free speech in the first place. It's not because of some 1960s hippie commie staged faggotry that we have free speech. It's not
Sam
because
is
Mr.
vulgar.
Jew in a bow tie went on a bus and marched on Washington. The reason we have free speech is because at pivotal stages throughout human history, Christian white men mostly have decided that, yes, actually, it would be worth dying to prove a point. That's how it happened. That's how we got this. The free speech that you enjoy, to the extent that you're able to have free
1776, white Christian men. If we really want to be honest, the beacon of democracy of America was born in 1776 with white Christian men saying enough is enough. We're picking up the sword against the crown.
speech is because of that, is because of men like this. Irony posters, anybody who's irony posting right now, I haven't seen too much of it, but for the sake of your own souls,
Destiny,
you might not want to do that. And I say that as somebody who didn't always take everything as seriously as I should, and there's you know, you don't have to take everything seriously, but there's a wrong time.
Yeah, Samuel Hyde. It's some variation of his name every time there's like a big terrorist attack or big political event and they're looking for someone in a manhunt. Someone will repost an old picture of Sam Hyde, Photoshop him for whatever region or nationality he needs to be, and then say this is his name, and it's some variant of Sam Hyde. This was the one time where it seemed extremely clear Sam was distancing himself from the meme. He did not want to be known as the shooter. That was absolutely apprehensible that he had been making jokes about this, and he's finally kind of realized, okay, this shit needs to stop. It's gone too far. It's my personal opinion based on what I saw. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading Sam wrong here, but this seemed to genuinely shake him to the core.
Time to do stuff, and it might have spiritual ramifications. I'm worried for you.
Yes, you're worried about people spiritually who don't believe in the spirit. That's also needs to be noted.
So why I'm saying it. And lastly, important thing before rocking out here, I think that we are all so smart and internet savvy that it's not possible for someone like me or like you or like little Timmy Thomas on his computer. He's got 10 Discord channels. He's a computer wizard.
Wow. Timmy Thomas is prolific on Discord.
It would be impossible for someone as smart as us to fall for any kind of psyop or emotional manipulation at a time like this. But on the off chance...
Yes. You could, right now, have right-wing radical extremists try to kill a leftist provocateur. That could be happening right now. FBI honeypots aren't uncommon. It's happened in the past. And we have Kash Patel at the lead who told Charlie Kirk, I'll see you in Valhalla, brother. I'm sorry, but I don't have much confidence in Kash Patel, especially after it took 2 days of inaction before his dad that killed Charlie Kirk brought the shooter in. And yes, it's because the FBI finally got photos of the shooter out there, but Jesus fucking Christ. It's supposed to be the best intel country, in the best intel agency in the world, and we dropped the fucking ball hard.
Chance that this is a very small chance, on the off chance that somebody somewhere with an agenda, there's almost no chance this is happening.
Yeah, almost exactly zero.
On the off chance that somebody somewhere with an agenda.
Definitely the government not right now wanting to pass hate speech laws and definitely might not try and turn the rhetoric up another notch by killing someone else. If you are a true nihilist and true I don't trust the government, that's always a possibility. The biggest reward the FBI could give a journalist back in the day was a shot to the back of the head. Sorry, the CIA. Was it CIA? FBI? Basically, they would assassinate journalism for uncovering their dirty crimes because of how feral the intel communities used to be.
Might be looking to
maybe still
capitalize on this event, spin it for nefarious purposes. Very small chance this is happening. I can't see this happening. Even though we're so smart, it might behoove us to choose our words. Would you say carefully?
Cautiously, carefully, intentionally?
Considerately. Consider all the implications of what you're saying, because that is entirely fucking true. And people online already do, and their implications aren't good.
Degree of precision. Discriminately, including your own internal dialogue. No matter what the result of the speculation is, the end result is the same, and that's that you, white man, are under attack. And that's that. Let's take a look at who our enemies are here. I tweeted at
the Turning Point USA. He sent a lot of tweets out because there are some absolute... Yeah, okay, sorry, his first tweet I was reading on the side. You're my boy, but I respectfully disagree. Everyone needs to watch this because it could have been you, it could have been me, it could have been any one of us exercising the First Amendment right. You all need to know what our enemies want. You all need to know what our enemies want. They want this for us all. They want your children growing up dead and your father with dead fathers and raped mothers. All the snake word games, moral posturing and linguistic blah, this is what lies behind it, bloodlust. And it's quartering telling people not to watch the video. I'm begging you, pray for his family instead. And this is where I also disagreed. I saw a young woman bleed to death on a bus or on a train after being stabbed. I saw Charlie Kirk get shot in the neck. This imagery changed who I was as a person. It made me realize America's in a pretty bad fucking state. Had I just got it from the news that Charlie Kirk's dead, oh, okay, whatever. Had I got the news somebody got stopped on the bus, oh yeah, a dime a dozen. Physically seeing it and hearing it are two different things. Seeing someone's last moments should have grave impact on an individual as long as you're not some sadistic fuck.
Quartering, because he said, I love the quartering, he's my guy. He said, don't look at the video. You got to look at these videos. You have to know what these people are trying to do to you. You have to know, you don't even have a family. That's the thing.
You have to see what happened, and then you have to see the reaction of the people around you. That's what made this so bad. The killing was terrible. The cheers was worse.
You don't have a family because they've set up this clown world where you're convinced not to start a family. It's economically impossible to start a family. But
Guys, you don't have enough money to start a family. Right now is the worst time in American history to start a family. Don't have a family. Also, we're going to import infinity foreigners that are going to basically do all the jobs because you won't have a family. So we're losing the labor market. So we need to import more foreigners. Look at fucking Japan. That's what's happening there. Fertility rate dropped to nothing. They're importing foreigners. And I think they had 2 stabbings, or they had 2 foreigners stab a Japanese citizen. And now the citizens are fucking protesting.
if you had a family, you don't even know what's been taken from you. Is what's so fucked up.
That's why I was happy with Trump talking about IVF treatment, fertilization, to allow people who are infertile to help them have kids, and the government paying for it. I'm in full agreement to that. The government should be encouraging people to have kids.
You have to watch these. You have to know that there is evil out there in the world. This isn't like being 15 and watching Best Gore or something.
This isn't like a live leak.
There is evil out there in the world. There's this idea of the seen.
This isn't an accidental death. This was intentional. It was hateful, and it's vile.
Versus the unseen. And I gotta say, thank God, Irina Zarutska was hot.
No, it does. It calls more attention to it.
No
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
For every one of these people being killed, who could be
Jesus Christ.
a relative of yours, it could be someone you cared about, it could be you. For every one of these people, there are.
It was a random individual. It can literally be anyone. That's the point. That's exactly right. It was a random killing. Now, he did say, I got the white girl. So I guess maybe if it was any other color of an individual there, maybe they wouldn't have died. Don't know. Not playing with that hypothetical.
Thousands. Just alone in the UK, the girls being raped.
Yes.
Isn't it like over 100,000? How many is it? We don't see it because there's no video of it, and the media is not publicizing it.
The media is hiding facts. The government's protecting the rapists. Some of the police were also part of the rape gangs as well. Yes. That's what's happening in the UK, and that's what's so feral. You don't see the video, so you're kind of just like, oh, someone got raped. There's a difference between saying someone got raped and seeing someone get raped. And one should be way more jarring than the other. I'm not saying you need to go watch videos of that. I'm just saying that there is a difference in the emotional effect on an individual psyche.
The details of each and every one of those are like science fiction level. I can't comprehend.
Yeah.
Yes. It's girls saying they were drugged and gang raped for days on end. There's one girl who went to the police, and the police called her a whore and turned her away, and she immediately got picked up by the rapist and got raped again. It is fucking crazy reading these stories. Absolutely wild. And the government was completely complicit. And that's what I don't want that's what I don't want to happen here, ever.
Yeah.
How bad? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
And then the police in the UK arresting the victims. That's
Yes.
a common pattern
Yeah.
I've noticed too.
Yes.
yeah.
One time they raided a house and they actually found a girl who was in the middle of getting raped, and they arrested her for being lewd in public or being lewd around adults, and she was a minor. This is court documents in the UK. If you don't believe me, look them up.
Fucking faggots, man.
Like folded into that one video of her getting stabbed is like, hundreds of thousands of people are.
It makes the magnitude of the problem obvious even to
Makes it
boomers and
gross.
retards on Facebook.
Right.
Which is why that video is important. It's why you have to memorize it. You can't let this stuff fade away. And you have to watch these too. You have to internalize this. You have to realize that this is real. These are the people going to a vigil and shouting, "Fuck Charlie Kirk." But if anything like this pops off.
Yeah. There was a vigil. The dude was yelling, "Fuck Charlie Kirk" the night he died, and he got his ass jumped, which I don't condone violence, but let's be honest, don't be a fucking retard. That is emotions at an all-time high. I'm not condoning the violence, but that's pretty fucking stupid on an individual level to go anywhere after someone's brutally murdered on an icon at a vigil where they are in remembrance of his death and cheering that he died. There's another video of a dude at a Charlie Kirk vigil at a church. It was a massive vigil, and some dude comes stomping through, destroying a bunch of the shit laid out. So the crowd jumps his ass. And funny enough, sadistic enough, this crazy fuck is wearing the same shirt the FBI posted of the dude who killed Kirk. He's wearing the same fucking shirt. You're telling me that's an accident? No, that motherfucker did that intentionally to stir up hatred. He gets like 3 punches to the face, getting pummeled on the ground, and then arrested for destroying property. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Some of these people are fucking human.
From people getting legal trouble, I will put money towards this if someone out there is capable of organizing that in a non-scammy way. Hit play on this.
Always a random woman screaming in the background.
notice, unlike a black attack, they're not killing this guy.
Right.
You cannot hide from this content.
There's tons of terrible videos online of black people jumping someone, and then once they're on the ground, curb stomping his head until they're unconscious. There's a video of that happening at a high school in Las Vegas. That's not normal. That is not normal, especially from the fucking youth.
It's important not to be obnoxious, but everybody needs to know about this stuff. Click view on the post that's muted. America, we must come together around in condemning the cruel and violent assassination of Charlie Kirk and become one nation that relies on the love. If you read the word love, have your defenses up. Be ready.
Because it's immediately emotional manipulation.
Citizens. Scroll up. I dream of an America with no Charlie.
Guys, it's the love where he's specifically calling individuals to be gone. Come on, guys. He's not saying he wants them dead. He's implying it. There's a difference.
Kirk. Don't believe any of these people when they say they want peace. They don't want peace. They just want to not lose. I don't think
they don't want retaliation because they know at this point people are so mad that they might be a target. Like I said, Hassan backpedaling on the political violence in America, which he immediately tried to do after he saw the Charlie Kirk video and saying this shit's bad, is probably because he realized there's going to be crosshairs on him. I do not want Hassan killed. I'm making that extremely clear. I'm just saying if you're a far leftist and your chat has been full of hate and rhetoric and one of your political opponents just died and you see the people on the right wing organizing, you should be fearful. I would be fearful if I was them. I'm capable of actual fucking empathy and imagining what it's like to be another individual. And if I was Hassan Piker, I'd be fearful.
Anybody.
This is not a threat in any way, shape, or
in
form.
America, really, with the exception of people who've been victims of violent crimes or perpetrated them, understand how bad civil war would be. But do not believe these people when they say they want peace. That's not what they want. They want to go back to flying under the radar and having the ability to fuck with you at liberty with no consequences. That's what they want. You need to remember.
Happened during the Black Lives Matter protest, where they burned down city after city after city. And you know who went to jail? Kyle Rittenhouse. Most everyone that was arrested during the Black Lives Matter protest was released. No charges ever formally pressed against them. The only one who actually went to jail for a while was Rittenhouse before he posted bond, and Rittenhouse was eventually found innocent in a jury of peers on all charges. He killed 2 individuals and shot a third man. The third man who pointed a pistol at him, by the way, and was a felon who could not legally own a firearm with a firearm.
Remember that. Here's Gavin Newsom. This guy. The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. In the United States of America, we must reject political violence in every form. Play the clip.
This is the irony. Every single leftist who is saying we need to stop political violence has called for we need to beat their faces. We need to murder them in the streets. Not that specifically direct, but it is calls to violence is what they are encouraging.
Clip.
I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Next clip.
Punch these sons of bitches in the mouth. Political violence. Like, this is the issue here. The people that are demanding the rhetoric be toned down are ones who are saying this shit. I'm not saying that everyone on the right is innocent either, but it's kind of ironic that everyone on the left saying it, you can find a clip guaranteed of them encouraging violence. Physically violence, depictive violence, imagery, violence with very strong imagery attached with it.
Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these
I've already done
and
this clip.
letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like that's the
I'm not
type of
surprised he
messages they were
included this
leaving in
clip.
This dude's this dude's office.
I was right. He did
he's
record this
resigning.
day after Kirk died,
He's
September
literally-
11th.
This is his last term. So I think that people are a lot more radical.
It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers.
Hassan calling for landlords to be murdered, and in the video they literally point out how Hassan's mother is a landlord.
Streets, let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
This honestly makes me nervous for Hassan. I don't even like how much trouble he's getting himself into. Like, it makes me, I hate this guy. It makes me nervous for him listening.
It makes me nervous because he's the ammunition Pam Bondi needs to try to start passing hate speech laws in America, that which will then arbitrarily be applied to anyone in the future. Because he's the idiot they need to make an example out of him. And that's how they're going to do it.
To him say this shit. This is opening a door that I don't think he understands and is not ready for.
It was so much worse than I thought it was going to be.
Well, yeah, because he's had Twitch protecting him, so he basically feels fucking immune to anything. So real life consequences, he assumes aren't going to happen because they haven't happened yet. And I could see where he's coming from. He's gone untouched for so long. Even when he gets a ban on Twitch, it's for a fucking day for calling for a senator to be killed. Like, what are we talking about?
There's no other emotion that makes me nervous for him.
It felt like when Augustus Gloop fell in the chocolate river.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know that that's so bad.
Yeah.
He's going to be stuck in a tube, and that's not a threat. I don't condone people being stuck in tubes.
We don't want to
Jesus Christ, man. These guys are such fucking trolls.
see people turn into blueberries. We don't want to see any fizzy lifting drinks. And we especially don't want to see anybody shrunk down into a television.
A TV.
That was the weirdest one. That was the yellow submarine of the movie.
Yeah.
That was a weird transformation.
All right, let's hear him talking about killing his fellow podcaster's wife or whatever this is.
Every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids.
He's directly calling out Ethan Klein's wife randomly when talking about how you should be able to legally kill these people on an international law. It's kind of weird. He says that he was just making an example, and he uses a very specific example of someone who currently he has Twitch drama with, and it's fucking crazy.
The
mentally
violence
unwell
that the
behavior
Palestinians engage in
from Twitch's
active resistance
Golden
against
Boy.
this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth.
Is it crazy to pray for Hassan?
No, absolutely
He
not.
looks so in over his head.
No, that's what the right-wingers do. They can show emotion to people who will never show them any emotion when they die. You can feel empathy for people you hate if you're an actual human being. You can feel empathy for people you dislike. I don't want to use the word hate.
This seems so dangerous.
I've never seen anybody say things that's blatantly violent.
This kid had a good point, too. The thing about cultivating a radical fan.
Yeah, because for some odd fucking reason, the government won't actually take any action to enforce the illegal incitement of violence laws that are already on the book against Hassan. And I don't understand why. I physically don't. That's not well, he's clearly not doing anything wrong. No, you can look up the laws. They are very easy to read. In fact, you don't even know where to look. Look up your state, look up speech laws, slam into fucking ChatGPT or Grok, and it'll literally pull up the government website and the regulations that are around them. Like, you can physically look this shit up. You don't even need a fucking lawyer now. Yes, you should still really consult with a lawyer if you're in legal issues, but if you're smart enough to know how to read legal jargon, you can look it up yourself if you want to know what the fuck's actually there.
And basis that you have to get progressively more and more extreme to satiate them and keep their attention. Hassan
Yes.
is now calling for the assassination of someone because they're Israeli. This was always the natural outcome of his politics.
Yes.
He's like stuck. Like, how is he going to get out of this? Or what's the end wokeness tweet? And then the Speaker Johnson tweet.
This whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no...
Look how she smiles when she says his death will mean nothing. Tell me that is a normal fucking human being. Tell me that is a person with a soul.
one. It will impact few.
Look at how happy she is.
It's just great.
I don't think I've
People openly cheering for his death. This is why everyone's upset.
publicly expressed pathos for my... is that the word you look up? Pathos?
Yes. Ethos, logos, pathos. Ethical, logical, emotional.
Pity or sorrow. I've never relished the misfortune of iDubbbz, just so you guys know.
It's hard to see people lose.
Without hyperbole, I think this is the Rubicon moment here. And whatever happens in the next 2 weeks is going to determine the future, not just of this country, but of humanity. It's going to determine...
Yes, if Pam Bondi passes so many hate speech laws, we're completely fucked out of existence. Free speech is essentially dead in America. There's no going back. That is entirely true. If government does nothing, radical leftists are going to show that they can do whatever they want, and they're going to keep getting worse with the rhetoric, and they're going to keep killing people, and it's not going to stop. You'll catch one assassin, you'll have more millions and millions and millions cheer, and they'll feel more emboldened than ever. The government needs to crack down on the people making open calls for deaths, crack down on the networks that are encouraging and telling people where to set up, how to train. Shit like that needs to go away. Openly encouraging political death is never acceptable. You can learn how to use a gun. If you're in a group that's purposely learning how to use a gun because they want you to assassinate someone, the entire group needs to go down.
And where we're positioned
legally,
economically, defensively, culturally, etc., against China. Not that everything's a competition with China, but this idea of America being the best place, and it's not so much that it's important that the idea of America being the best place is true or something. It's what's important is that there's a
no. We should easily shit stomp the communist bastards and being the best country in the world. That's entirely true. I've never heard of someone fleeing capitalism. I've heard of thousands upon millions of people fleeing communism, though.
A land where there's a reasonable degree of peace and freedom and the ability to innovate and pursue your dreams and be an individual and be a people. For the Chinese,
America's the only country where you can physically pick yourself up by the bootstraps. I know people make fun of it. The American dream sucks ass, and it's never been worse than it's ever been now, but it's still possible here, as opposed to being born in China and being doomed to work in Apple iPhone assembly with suicide nets on the outside. I'd say that's infinitely better working at a Walmart than there. Let's be real.
That's China, and they have their own problems, I'm sure, that I don't understand or care about. When it comes to white people, though, it seems like Europe is largely a museum on its way down the toilet. An elegant, beautiful museum.
The historical buildings there are absolutely gorgeous. They've been completely taken over by a populace that hates them. They've allowed so many foreigners to come in and take jobs that the foreigners now take political power and do everything in their interest to bring more foreigners over. Like, you're being replaced. That's what's happening. There's no great replacement theory. It's not a theory. It's in practice right now. It's happening to people.
Full of plenty of people who are beautiful, good people who deserve to live, but it's not looking good for them, and that's not a fight that we really have a hand in, immediate agency in. This is our country, and it's all we know. We're not going anywhere. Would be a tragedy on many levels, on a human suffering level, on a human achievement level, on every conceivable level, for everything that our ancestors fought for to become Brazil or something like it, or something worse. There's not going to be another moment like this, I don't think. In terms of intensity, sure, maybe, but in terms of possibilities, I don't think there will be another moment like
this. Is a turning point. That's why he named the chapter. This is a turning point in American history. Anyone saying it isn't is ignorant to what's actually happening and what is being said.
I think this is the turning point for our country. It's critically important that we have the right attitude of optimism, compassion when it's warranted, reserve when it's warranted, resolve all the time. And that brings me to my next point. The Constitution has failed. I don't care about some fucking piece of paper. I don't. I went to high school. I learned about the Constitution. I know about the Holocaust and slavery. I saw it in a movie. I know about the Constitution. I saw that in the movies too. But in real life, it would appear.
In real life, people wipe their ass with it on the daily, and they use it against you because they don't actually give a shit about it, but they think you do.
That the Constitution is a fucking toilet rag that only gets thrown in our faces.
Yes.
When it can be used against us. When it can be used to fuck with us, to make us poor, to displace us in our neighborhoods, to help us lose our jobs, to make it so that the jobs don't exist. That's when the Constitution is defended the most effectively, is when it can be used to make you ineffective. It's an artifact from a completely different planet. It's from a white country that was run.
It's from a society that was predominantly white.
Run by white Christian men. Does South Africa have a constitution?
I think so.
That's a ChatGPT deep research question. Does
Sam
South Africa have a constitution?
No, Grok deep research. What the fuck are you doing, Sam?
More importantly, has it helped them?
It is interesting how, like Christianity, it's used as a cudgel against its believers by people who actively.
Yes, people who don't give a shit about God are the first to start trying to quote random Bible verses that they looked up half-ass out of context and. What, love thy neighbor. You're supposed to let me do whatever I want and how hateful I am because the Bible says love thy neighbor. I'm an atheist. I've never read the Bible. I don't believe in God, but you might, so I'm going to use it against you. Like, that is literally what they do. And the fact that they're really thinking some people fall for it. But if you think I'm stupid enough to fall for it, you can go pound sand, buddy.
Don't follow it.
Yep.
And don't believe in it.
If you have opponents
they
who
want to use it
play by the
against you.
rules, and you don't have any mandate to play by the rules, why wouldn't you use their rules against them? South Africa has a constitution.
They want to win by any means necessary. That is entirely true.
Can you ask Grok 4 Heavy if they can go wave the South African Constitution down there and prevent farmers from being murdered? If roving blacks come to your farm...
Yeah, that's entirely right. Did the Constitution account for absolutely unhinged anarchy where the government's now racist against the white people that are being brutally killed by gangs of African Americans who want... or not even African Americans, I'm sorry, they're Africans. Gangs of Africans that demand the land back and are taking it by force. Is the Constitution going to protect you there? I don't remember that clause.
With phone jamming equipment and a plan to kill your family.
Yes, so there's our backpacks that they can wear that jam signals within a certain radius. It's illegal to have in America, but there are video footage of people with their own closed circuit TVs that people have had their house broken into, and these people are wearing jammers. If you're in there, you can't call 911 unless you have a hard line, which no one has nowadays. If you're liberal and you don't believe in guns, and this guy's got a jammer and you can't call 911, you're at the mercy of a monster, and you've put yourself in that situation.
Would a copy of the South African Constitution come in handy? Click Think Harder, please.
Do you think the gangs of roving Africans are going to be able to read that Constitution?
Down at the bottom, Think Harder. If roving feral blacks, who the government is encouraging to murder you, come to your farm to kill
the boer, kill the farmer, kill the boer, kill the farmer. Who's the farmers? All white people.
Your children. Grok 4 Heavy's working pretty hard on this one. We have about 70,000 GPUs running right now.
You just cost Elon Musk $20 a second to run this fucking question.
Electricity to power Las Vegas. The phrasing suggests attackers use phone jamming, not the defender. Oh, this is amazing. This thing's basically thinking like a human.
It said no before, but it was not thinking back then.
It wasn't. Okay, this is the hard mode. It's likely asking if waiving the Constitution can prevent attacks where jammers are used. Let's search for 2025 statistics on farm attacks in South Africa.
It's funny because I ask Grok and you get the free super heavy, the few a day, and I'll ask it and it cracks me up seeing what's it doing? All it's doing is fucking Googling, trying to find what you're looking for, and then compiling it in, and then re-Googling with a new question. It's fucking hilarious, and it tells you what it does, too.
This is passing the Turing test.
Yeah.
The definition of intelligence and sentience is whether a computer can pass an arbitrary test made by some fag in the 50s. And when he wrote the test, he went like this. Great Scott!
Eureka was uttered.
Eureka! No waving around the South African Constitution or any legal document, that's kind of damning, won't do much to deter or prevent a violent attack on your farm.
Damn, you'll tell them, guys, I believe in this piece of paper as they shoot you in the fucking head. And that's as far as you went as a human being. That is the end of your existence right there at that point in society. You died with your piece of paper. It meant jack shit.
Here's the important part. It's a powerful symbol of rights and equality, but it doesn't come with a built-in force field. That said, let's break down your question factually based on South African law, crime realities, self-defense rights. So you could hold it up and claim your self-defense rights.
How heavy
is it? Shit.
A 2025 case analysis notes that if the threat is unlawful and imminent, self-defense can be a valid legal defense even with an unlicensed firearm. Wow.
Ooh,
that Constitution sounds pretty powerful. That actually sounds more powerful.
You still have to have an unlicensed firearm, though, and if you believe in the Constitution, you probably shouldn't have one of those because it's not legal.
Powerful than our Constitution, because if you defend yourself in our country, you're fucked.
If you have someone that breaks into your home and you shoot them and they live, they will sue you for everything that you have, and they will win every time. The way it works in America is you have to shoot someone, or if you shoot someone, you better fucking kill them because you're not a police officer and you won't get police immunity for it. You will be fucked royally. And they could be completely in the wrong, but you'll still lose in the court of law because that's how the law works, unfortunately.
But no longer, hopefully. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Trump survived a bullet. He survived multiple bullets from an assassin. And the assassin was a freak from some sort of Blackwater incubation tank where they manufacture
hillbillies is what it looked like.
Freaks. I don't even want to say that because the kid, it's probably some kid that had his brain, probably was tortured with electrodes. Who knows?
Right.
My assumption is he was part of the Flint, Michigan school system and drank a lot of lead water before the ripe age of 2.
Who knows?
With brain damage.
What fucking happened? What chemicals were inserted into Trump's would-be assassin? But Trump, by the grace, he turned his head. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
He turned his head.
He turned his head to look at an immigration statistic on a board.
Like 10 degrees and avoided the lethal shot. He avoided the lethality. of it. It got his ear.
Literally, split-second turning of his head, dodged the bullet. You want to talk about crazy shit? You want to talk about religion and believing in God? That was a come-to-God moment for Trump, and even he said so.
He avoided the lethality of the shot, much to the dismay to these...
He avoided the lethality of the mostly peaceful leftists, the radical leftists.
Fucking freaks on TikTok who think it would be a good thing somehow if the president were killed. In my opinion, that is a mandate from heaven. If you ever survive an assassin's bullet in that scenario, I would imagine that means something like
feeling powerful.
You have been ordained by God to do God's work on the planet. You've been spared, and you've been spared in such a dramatic and improbable and miraculous fashion that you have a mandate from heaven to do God's work on earth. Now, is he talking about getting into heaven?
He has been talking about getting into heaven lately, apparently.
He's a mandate from heaven. And now what he has with this confluence of events is a sort of open runway to enact whatever policies he could imagine in his wildest dreams. He has a blank check to do whatever he wants, in my opinion.
He's the president. It doesn't matter what he does. You'll have some random leftist judge that just says, nope, sorry, you can't do that arbitrarily and unconstitutionally, because they don't care about the Constitution.
And a limited time to do it.
And a very limited time to do it.
A dwindling
I don't think that's an overstatement. I don't think that's I don't think that's crazy to say. Is that crazy to say?
No.
Valentine?
I suppose it would be a means in which it would make Charlie Kirk, it would make him not have died in vain.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Vance gave a very emotional speech. Kirk knew both the president and J.D. Vance. He was big into right-wing politics. He was big with Republicans. MAGA and Republicans also brought Democrats onto their side. And I want to make this clear. I know people are going to say Trump's extremely right-wing, but you got to understand, politics has shifted so far left that Trump seems like a moderate now compared to what we had 10 years ago. He does. 10 years ago, Republicans would never even have someone on the stage that believes gay people should be married, or that you could even maybe make it up to states' rights to have an abortion. They want the Supreme Court to ban it. They want gay people to not be allowed to get married. Trump doesn't care. He leaves them up to state rights. He's a moderate in comparison to what we've had previously.
There's a lot of things at play that make what that chick said completely false. Like, she said that he's not martyr material, which is what I think she means is he's not a target that one would expect. I think the truth behind that is he's not a guy that even remotely had it coming, not that anybody does, but he's not even on the radar of guys that deserve that. And what
No, she's trying to say he's too low of hanging fruit to be worth killing. Is what she meant, is what she implied. That's my reading of it.
He represents is because he's such a non-martyr material, he represents that it could happen to everybody. And I see a lot of people saying, that's my uncle's politics, that's my grandfather's politics. And they are now realizing that, oh, they want my loved ones dead.
Yeah.
Yes, the immediate parallelisms of a man brutally murdered engaging in open debate. If you have a grandpa that might be slightly racist or says an edgy joke right once or twice, these people would openly cheer when he died too. They'd find a tweet from 10 years ago and spam it everywhere. That's what they're doing from Kirk. They're finding out of context shit that's completely lies or completely a different story when added with context and saying this is why he deserved to die. They're not fact-checking anything. They're trying to harass and bully people. They don't want to have a conversation. That's what they're doing.
They're holding some of the most benign political stances.
This is a historical moment, and there's the charge is there, the critical mass is there to do historical shit in a way that it hasn't been since 2015. There hasn't been a moment like this, arguably, at any point in Trump's presidency or in Biden.
Trump has a pretty decent shot right now to align both Republicans and Democrats because of the political assassination. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't, at this point, I don't think it's going to happen. The momentum's dying, and he's not doing much.
Biden's presidency, and I think this is going to define him. It's time for Trump and the people in his administration to get off their asses and do something. He's been able to enact policies like Project 2025 when it comes to punishing pro-Palestinian demonstrators, but so far, that's all he's been able to get with this. So here's what I would do if I had a mandate from heaven and I had the opportunity to fulfill that mandate. And I don't, so this is just speculation, but this is what I would do.
You know, he's saying anyone's a target at the moment.
First of all,
do not kill
any
Sam
city
Hyde.
Where the
That's
body
a joke.
count on a given weekend is the same or worse than the body count in what is one of these shithole Mosul,
Yep.
Gogul. If it's a U.S. city where the body count is more than the DE Dust 2 Counter-Strike map in a deathmatch game, there needs to be military presence there.
Correct. Him weaponizing the National Guard needs to be done immediately and in more cities, because it is an absolute 180 slap to the face to all the retarded fucking Democrats and their dog shit crime policies allowing criminals to go on the street repeatedly. They're like playing fucking fishing. They're like catch and release with these motherfuckers. People need to be going to jail for life for crimes that are crazy. Instead, they get the lightest sentence possible because you have a judge that's feeling their empathy today, TM, and letting off some convicted fucking felon on a light charge. Like, this shit's crazy. These cities should not be fucking third world countries. You are in America, not fucking South America.
That's not a crazy thing to say. It's a national emergency when you have cities where there's 64-player map death matches happening every weekend. The people that perpetrate this violence in any American city, it's not hundreds of thousands of people. If you took the 80 most violent criminals and put them away for life, you would end American crime, 95% of it, overnight.
Yeah, the statistics show that, like, I think it's more people with more than 3 convictions on their record consist of like 80% of all the criminals in America. Like, you can just straight up do a 3-strike system, too many convictions, you're out. There are statistics to show these people are career criminals, and we do nothing to stop it.
If you took the most violent people and locked them up and throw away the key, the 14-time felony offenders, there aren't that many of them. There are not a million of them. In an average city, there's not even 100 of them. It's a very simple matter. You take these people, lock them up, the worst ones. The abolition of the death penalty is effectively...
it's a deterrent to people wanting to live an innocent life. It's an encouragement for crime.
Fuck, where's that? I'm so phone-brained. There was a tweet about it talking about how Plato, the excess of liberty, whether in states or individuals, seems only to pass into excess of slavery. Aristotle, he who bids the law rule may be deemed to bid God and reason alone rule, but he who bids man rule adds an element of the beast, for passion perverts the minds of rulers even when they are the best of men. Thomas Hobbes, during the time men live without a common power to keep them all in awe, they are in that condition which is called war, and such a war as is of every man against every man. Cesare Beccaria. I don't remember what games he made music for, but crimes are more effectually prevented by the certainty than the severity of punishment. Nietzsche.
Yes. If you wanted to end speeding, pass a law to where anyone caught going 1 mile an hour or more above the speed limit will be brutally executed the moment the cops catch you. Speeding would drop to 0 immediately.
A great danger for mankind begins with the criminal indulgence of decadence, with the sympathy for the ill-constituted and weak. I don't know what that last one is. Probably some pedophile, so we'll skip that one. Point being, if Trump doesn't care enough about us to keep us safe in our cities, then fuck him. Arrest James Comey. Can you pull up the Constantino tweet? So this is...
Yeah, 8647. This is fucking crazy that he was not brought up on federal charges of incitement of violence. And this is why I'm so pissed at our leadership. 8647, remove by force 47, the 47th president. It's a dog shit dog whistle from people with a 20 IQ that really think that the FBI doesn't know what you mean. This should be enough grounds to have people arrested. This is saying to remove Trump, and it's not peacefully, it's by murder, it's by violence. That is the exact meaning. And leftists will say, it just means to get rid of him. We just want him gone. No, you want him dead, and you're openly calling for it, and for some reason the government's not putting you in fucking handcuffs.
This is James Comey on Instagram here, posting 8647. Can you even believe this? That this guy is walking around, that's a death threat.
That is the director of the FBI under Joe Biden, who was also FBI director that decided to press no charges against Hillary Clinton, even though she got caught with all the confidential information on an unclassified server, and then got caught destroying the evidence. She had thousands of files that were confidential that would have resulted in her being in jail for life, and at the discretion of the FBI director, aka James Comey, he decided that there shouldn't be any charges pressed. So she was found guilty, but she wasn't sentenced.
Yeah.
He needs to be in fucking jail.
What's 8647? I have no idea what that is.
86 means kill, 47 is the 47th president.
Oh, interesting.
Just because you're speaking in code doesn't mean it's not a death threat. It makes Trump look like a fucking clown.
The fact that Pam Bondi hasn't arrested people is crazy. You have the Kraftstein retards on Twitter saying they got an actual knock on the door from the FBI because they checked to see if it was credible. You just said to kill the fucking president. What the fuck are we talking about? Credibility? You should be in fucking handcuffs immediately. What the fuck?
That Comey hasn't.
There are signs that have led to the political atmosphere, and shit like this going unchecked and unchecked and unchecked are why it keeps getting bad. Because every time they're spam tweeting this shit and they see no one going to jail, they're going to think they're immune. That's what's happening here. You are setting the field for them to feel more emboldened for blamed calls of deaths of political opponents.
Been arrested for that. That's ridiculous. Now's the time. Lock his ass up. Mass deportations, energy deregulation, firing civil servants. The Democrat Party, wrap it up. Whatever pretext you have to, I'm not a lawyer, okay? I used to be. Whatever the pretext is, RICO, case, whatever. The people who have called for violence, they should have a day in court. That has to happen.
Call them in the court of law so they get their day in court. So at least the government is trying to do something.
All leftists who have called for violence or hinted at it have to be arrested. Tim Waltz, any celebrity who said, wouldn't it be funny if President Trump were assassinated? Pretending like that's not a dangerous threat and not taking action on it makes him look like a fucking clown. This presidency's a joke. Whoever around him is telling him not to do these.
Yes, and that's what I'm so confused about, because he came in so strong and he's dropping the ball hard as fuck, and I don't understand why.
Things you have to get rid of them. The women, the Indians, anybody in the administration who's weak sauce on punishing crime, they have to be eviscerated. You got to get them out of there.
You need leadership by a strong man who is willing to make strong decisions. You need criminals to fear crime, to fear the act of committing crime. That is what you need.
Just kick them out, man. Programs like Ukraine Aid, Green Energy, shut all that shit down. Any NGO or whatever, however these people organize their graft, 501c, I don't know how it works. These organizations, any money that's flowing into them, you got to cut that off immediately. Are all the J6ers out of jail, or any of them still in jail?
No, they were all given pardons.
That's a good question. There should be just very few, if any, but they too.
And they should get after the fact pardons, like whatever the legal thing, like you did nothing wrong. They should get fucking medals. The J6ers should get medals, even the crazy ones. Even if one was there, got in a drunk driving accident after. Even the J6ers who are total crackpot, XRP, QAnon freak shows who got in drunk driving accidents and beat their wives after they got released from prison. They should get the fucking Medal of Honor. The guy that killed bin Laden, whatever medal he got a shiny one, chrome, rainbow chrome anodized. I don't know what these faggot soldier medals are. I don't know anything about soldier lingo, so you can't be slinging that around me. I don't understand. But I know that if you're one of these fruitcake soldiers,
I'm just using
a big
slang
shiny
chat.
one that's got rainbow anodized, and it's like the S that everybody drew in high school. That's the highest one. Whatever that is, invent a new medal, okay? Invent a new one. Give it to all the J6ers and Derek Chauvin.
My favorite part is he's laughing at this bit.
Do that immediately. And
Did you just say the guy that killed George Floyd too?
Derek Chauvin has to be let out of jail.
Yep.
Derek Chauvin should be the head of NPR.
Jesus Christ.
Chauvin PR, they'll call it. It's not catchy. There's no ring to it, but it should be so.
A show of power in whatever force, border security, it doesn't matter. Get troops doing something other than arresting pro-Palestinian protesters. Dummy. The Israel is our hero thing is over. That's the thing that gets these.
And that's what is always going to be a losing ground for a moderate in today's society, is when you see someone bending over backwards for fucking Israel. I do not understand why. You have a generation of men like me that believe America need to come first, and I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. That should be some pretty common sense ground. I don't understand why every single senator has to pay homage to fucking Israel. Why?
Fucking bonehead conservatives caught up every single time is, if I can't beat them, join them. That's done for. It's over. It's not going to happen. You're not going to join them. They're never going to let you into the club. Charlie Kirk was in that club. He started to question the club. Now he's out of the club. You're not. There's no club. You're not in the club. They're going to kill you. They want to kill you. They want to kill your kids. Stop thinking that Israel's going to save you.
I wonder if Charlie Kirk ever went to go visit the wall. That's the ultimate sign in my book that someone is owned by Israel, is when they go visit the wall, because that's what they all do. And I think the only way to get there is to basically pay homage to the state of Israel itself.
in whatever way, shape, or form that
Some
making a
way, shape,
pact
or
with the
form.
devil is going to come out good for you. It's not. You're going to get fucked. Voter suppression laws. I'm sorry to tell you this. You can only vote if you have a penis.
Did you ever hear my friend Nick?
Women are no longer allowed to vote. Project 2025. Oh God, man, why did they do this sooner? Jesus Christ.
Oak's solution, which is anybody who you can have universal basic income like $4,000 a month, but you cannot vote.
Yeah.
And so that would get rid of a lot of bad votes.
Yeah, that would be that would be funny enough to see. Yeah, you get the free government shit, but you're no longer allowed to vote at all. It used to be, I want to say, originally in the UK, I think it was, or United Kingdom back in the days, I think it was only landowners were allowed to vote. I think they were going to do that in America, but they decided not to. I could be wrong about the history of it, though. Something I need to look back into.
It's a good idea. And prosecute the people who stole the 2020 election, which is treasonous. That's the ultimate offense.
Yeah, Kash Patel comes out saying we have evidence that China directly infected our election by using they used driver's license that were fake and frauded from California and used those to get other driver's license in other states using fake addresses and then get mail-in ballots and then vote in the election. Kash Patel has said there's direct evidence for this. He hasn't supplied any yet, but it seems very plausible based on California's dog shit driver's license giving them to any illegal alien that they want. Look at what the fucking dude in Florida who turned the 18-wheeler the wrong way and fucking threw a U-turn on the highway and got 3 people killed. He got his license from California. They are so pro-illegal, they'll give it to people who aren't citizens, and then other states have to respect the rights of driver's license, and some states have a loophole to where if you can prove you're a citizen of a different, or you have a driver's license from another state, and you have an address that's here, you're good to go. It's a scam. It's been done. It's been shown. We need to patch it. It's a gameplay mechanic. It is exploit. It's a gameplay exploit that needs to be patched immediately.
If you're going by the playbook, if you're going by the Constitution, the Constitution is a document, an amazing document. It was our founders were whatever. If that's what you really believe in, then the stealing of the 2020 election, is there a crime that's higher than that?
It's like war.
It's like war.
It's like a war.
Because the ramifications, the
ramifications is you had a fake president that was illegitimately elected that brought in 10 million more popular votes than any other president known to mankind. And I get the population's always increased, but why on God's green earth did Joe Biden have so many fucking votes compared to Kamala Harris? Is it because she was a bad candidate? Was there more cheating in the election than our electors and our government want to admit? The government's done a really bad job at quelling unrest and quelling questions like this.
And tertiary,
they are not
all
transparent.
The stuff that flows out of that is worse than any other crime. Mm-hmm. What's that? The tweet from Pete Hegseth? Well done, good and faith. This type of talk is meaningless unless you fucking do something about it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I didn't know he put this fucking tweet out. Put people in jail directly responsible for his death and openly calling for his family, his mom, his wife, his daughter to be killed. Put them in jail immediately.
About it. You can give Charlie Kirk the medal of, you can give him the even a higher medal. You can give him the XRP medal. It doesn't matter. It's meaningless if his death means nothing. If nothing comes from this, if you don't do anything, if you let this presidency in this moment fizzle, then it's all for naught. They should black bag Kash Patel and put him on a CC. I don't know. I'm not a military guy.
I don't know if he. I honestly, I think this is before Kash Patel put his Valhalla tweet out, because you could goddamn guarantee Sam would be like, "What the fuck is this retard on about?" Because that has been the dumbest fucking thing Kash has done so far.
But a C-706 Globemaster.
Yeah.
Put him in there. Isolate him like he's a serial killer, like he's on a rack and he's got the mask on. Put him on a 24-hour flight to India and drop his ass off. What can we do? First of all, you need a gun. And you need to not be looking for fights. You need to not be saying stuff like Fafo, Karen, fucking karma's a bitch.
Inciting violence. Yes, you are the biggest retard on earth. You are in the wrong when you are trying to incite violence. You're not going to get empathy from anyone, and you shouldn't.
And then shooting some shop owner who did nothing. You need to be...
Yeah, you shoot a random guy that laughs at Kirk being dead. It's going to make you a fucking retard, rightfully so.
Protecting yourself and your family. You have to arm yourself. You have to arm yourself. That being said, you gotta be. I mean, be careful. It's not. This is a time where anything could happen. It's not a time to be going out looking for beef. And secondly, I think it's time to become annoying faggots. You see all the people getting fired?
Oh yeah, loving it.
All the shit that liberals did to us.
Oh yeah.
That's
Karen culture.
Faggotry.
This time, we're the Karens.
I think it works. I think we just have to do that. Get these people fired. Start cataloging this. We need a tech-minded.
There's already a website for people. It was an Excel sheet originally, and now it's basically a website where you can post direct video evidence of who they are, what their name is, where they work, and then there was like a check mark on whether or not they've been fired. I want people in jail for calling for Kirk's family to be killed and Kirk to be killed. People openly cheering his death, it's morally reprehensible. If you get fired for it, you fucked around, you found out. That's as far as I want to go. I don't want you dead, but by God, society needs to expel your ass one way or another. You need to know that this is not ever going to be tolerated, openly cheering for political violence. You are what's wrong with this world. I don't want you dead, but I've assumed getting your ass fired is going to give you a reality check real fucking quick.
Person building a database, because Palantir apparently is vaporware. They don't really know anything about what's going on. There needs to be somebody who has crypto money and is not crazy and who would be responsible with the data and who has a legal team. Someone needs to build a site to catalog the
Charlie murders. There should be more than one website like this, however. Yes, that's the website. Yeah.
The viciousness, the calls to violence, the nastiness of these people, and we have to start taking a page from the left's playbook. And I'm sure there are better options. I'm sure there's other things to do. But if you're bored, if you're angry right now, just legally get somebody fired.
It's a valid thing to do.
That's a valid thing to do.
It's extremely valid. They are openly cheering for someone to die. It is a hostile work environment every step of the way. These people are mentally unwell, and they don't know that they're a danger to those around them, and they are. They haven't committed a crime yet, though. That's why it's only get them fired and not get them in jail. The ones calling for death, that's a crime. The ones cheering for death, not a crime. They're just mentally unwell, and they are dangerous to everyone else.
To do. You don't have to worry, and you don't have to worry about the police coming to your door. Just don't threaten anybody over the phone. But
yeah, don't call and threaten to shoot up a place if someone doesn't get fired because they were mad at or they cheered at Kirk's death. Like, don't be a raging fucking retard.
Call the employers of these scumbags and make them aware of what their employees are doing. It doesn't feel good to say this, by the way. This is like faggoty tattletale shit.
They're not empty threats, though.
But it fucking works.
It's ethical, too, because this tactic was used against people for merely supporting a presidential candidate. And
it was used against people who were saying men can't get pregnant, that there are two genders. These people were trying to end careers over that shit. It was fucking crazy.
That's not to say that, well, if they did it, we'll just do it. But it is right that people that are entrusted, whether they're teachers or nurses.
If you're a teacher, a nurse, a firefighter.
If you're in a position to where you're educating the youth and you're showing them videos of Charlie Kirk's murder, which has happened, by the way. It happened in Canada, actually. Some crazy lady showed Charlie Kirk getting his neck blasted like 30 times in a row to a class of 10-year-olds. What? Are we fucking serious? These people are mentally unwell, and they are infecting people around them, whether or not they realize it.
If you're anybody, and you're walking around and you're saying you're gloating over somebody dying, you're gloating over a regular guy who is well-intentioned dying, you should be out of a fucking job.
You're a physician.
You should be out of a job, minimum.
I wouldn't trust you to mow my fucking lawn.
Yeah. I'm sure some better tactic will appear. This is not cool.
Sure.
Okay? But
no, it's cancel culture. It's gay as fuck. It's still cancel culture. People saying it's not cancel culture. It's actions of your consequences. It's fucking cancel culture, guys. Can we just admit it? Can we just call a spade a fucking spade? Let's not try to dance around linguistic retardation here. Let's keep it on the straight and narrow.
They should be followed for the rest of their lives with this data. Do we have a compilation like TikToks of these people dancing around and laughing and stuff?
Oh, God, there's plenty of those.
Finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost everybody in the fucking States, grew a pair and fucking went and shot somebody on the right side. Thank you. Can we keep this up?
You know what? It's right to...
On the right side, but the shooter's a Republican, guys. He's a right-winger. We guarantee a right-winger shot a right-winger. It makes no fucking sense to anyone with an IQ above 80. It's fucking crazy.
Because first of all, you're not making anything. This is just truth that they did this. There's nothing wrong with showing something that somebody truly did, and it doesn't benefit us to live in a society that tolerates people gloating about death.
You live in a society, and you can say it's hateful. You can say it's hatred. That's what they said when you said men can't be women, where men can't be pregnant. They said it was hateful. You're not gloating about death. There's tiers to everything. There's gradients to everything. Gloating about death is what I consider in the highest tier. Openly cheering for someone to die is in the highest tier. Saying men can't be pregnant and you made .0001% of the population mad and you deserve to be fired for that? What the fuck are we talking about?
Death.
The just thing to do, even with revenge taken out of the picture, is this person should not be around children. They should not be holding a needle that's injecting anything into your body. They shouldn't be allowed to prepare food for anybody else to consume.
They are mentally unwell, and if they are in a position of power, it should be worrying to anyone around them.
Almost no job, maybe Amazon warehouse worker, is what people like this should be entrusted with. That's the just thing, even with revenge taken out of the picture. So this is petty. It doesn't feel cool. It's not badass. It's the tactic that works, period. And that's what our enemies...
They refined it. They made it. Leftists made it. Leftists refined it. Right-wingers have run so much better with it than these leftists ever fucking could.
Have been exploring, pursuing with a tenacity that we're not going to be able to match because we're not evil, obsessed cretins.
No.
But it's what has to be done.
Nonviolent. Totally nonviolent.
On a positive note, they're comfortable.
Keep it nonviolent, yes. That's the biggest point here. I say there's hatred on the left, there's hatred on the right as well. I don't genuinely know who's more hateful. I'm not going to try to compare arbitrary statistics here. I'm going off current day politics, and the left openly celebrating a man dying tells me they're a bigger problem than anything else I've seen in quite some time.
Enough to reveal themselves in
Yeah.
reality. I mean, did you hear that witch cackle? That was crazy.
That's part of the problem too, is that it teaches any children being raised and seeing this that is an acceptable option of behavior and mentality.
There's videos of parents recording their 10-year-olds cheering that Kirk's dead because they've indoctrinated their children to celebrate a political assassination. Those kids are not going to come out right. They aren't.
If you are confused right now, if you're bored, if you're angry, if you're thinking about how you're going to get back, while you're thinking about that, what you can do in the interim is you can make a polite phone call and ensure that one of these fucking freaks is broke. Furthermore, catalog what they've done, download videos, do some investigation of your own. You can practice your phone skills. If you call a place up and you're like, you hired this person, I'm going to fucking kill you. That's not good. You can earn money. You could become a salesperson. This is sales, actually.
Jesus Christ.
This is sales training.
Yeah, you have to basically be able to talk to people to convince them what you need or what you're selling is important right now. You convince the company that this person is mentally unwell and is a danger to everyone around them, and if they don't take action, they're going to be very liable.
If you have any ambition to become a salesperson, 300 calls a day. That's what they say. You got to do 300 calls a day.
Jesus
for,
Christ, really?
3 to 5 years, and then all of a sudden you have sales skills. Call up, see how nice and polite you can be. Sir, how you doing? I have an offer that might interest you. So-and-so, this lady employee, she's actually on Instagram gloating over the assassination of a political figure in America. And I wanted to talk to you about your opportunities today to,
Get
whatever.
the fuck out of here.
Have ChatGPT write a script. It's easy.
Experience points.
A great man once said, when we win, do not forget that these people want you broke, dead, your kids raped, and brainwashed. And they think it's funny.
That's Sam Hyde's original quote. That is his quote.
We can't forget that. Christ help us all.
Don't forget that, and pray. Thank God that you are healthy and have the opportunity to fight. And do not Fed post. Do not.
No, never. This is not the time to be calling for anyone to be dead. I had to previously delete some comments in some of my comic sections on my videos of people calling for other people to be killed in response to Kirk being killed. I'm going to delete those every single time. I'm not making these to incite violence in any way, shape, or form. I'm making them to make people aware there's evil in this world and you need to be vigilant, but I'm not telling you to go murder people. I'm not trying to give you a target to harass. I'm letting you know there's evil out there and these people want you dead. Not that you should go out there and kill them.
Fuck yourself.
I live so far outside the American world.
God, you can just tell by his accent.
It's weird for me to be even messaging this to you guys, but my theory has always been whatever happens in America eventually reverberates across the world. And even though people may not admit it, we look to you guys sometimes for guidance. The stuff that's kind of happening at the moment, what's just happened in the US, is kind of a touchstone of so many different instances. So let's hope you can find a path that we can then tread together.
The world is watching, and what we do next is going to reverberate throughout history.
What we do next will define the American democracy. We either fizzle out or we burn brighter than ever. Sorry, my dad texted me cheering that Destiny got banned on Twitch because Elon tweeted that Destiny should be banned on Twitch, and Destiny's been banned on Twitch for like 4 years. Boomers, am I right?
History. It's going to determine whether or not this civilization that involves everybody. It involves India. It involves Asians. It involves blacks in Africa. What happens next determines the sort of the level of abject suffering that all of humanity is going to be subjected to for the next 2,000 years.
You know, I didn't even.
If we're the last beacon of democracy and we go out, communism's going to win, and it's going to get worse for everyone in the world. You're going to have billionaires, you're going to have trillionaires, you're going to have a ruling class, and you're going to have a working class, and that's it. There will never be any middle grounds whatsoever, and there will not be a way to go from the poor class to the rich class. It's going to be completely isolated. You will be in internment camps for the rest of your life. You'll be working for their bidding, and you'll be working to survive. Not to live a better life, but to get food. That's the bleakest future I can imagine, and I imagine that's going to happen if America fails.
I didn't like Charlie Kirk that much. I thought he was sort of like a Diet Pepsi version of the things I stood for. But I'm a father. I'm 32 years old. I have 2 little girls, and I have such a pit in my stomach over this. And I have pretty radical ideas, but I'm not the kind of person that wants to go burn down stores or rob Nike stores for food. I will not be satisfied until I see these people atone for this. And I know that I'm not the only person.
But they're not going to atone, because atonement requires self-reflection and admittance of what you're doing is wrong, and they don't think they're wrong. They think they're 100% right, and that's why they're cheering.
Thanks for letting me voice it.
We all have a brother or a cousin or a friend or a parent who's not based enough or whatever, but we're in this together.
I think the events of this week have gone right around the world, even here in Australia, in the Southern Hemisphere in general. What's next for the international approach to this sort of ideology that is Christian in nature and wants the best for people versus the people that just don't want us at all?
I don't know what Australians are going to do. They're fucked.
You gotta come here.
Dude, that country is butt fucked out of existence. They don't have free speech. They don't have guns. They have foreigners that are killing priests on live television. It's fucking bad. Australia is fucking bad. The COVID lockdowns for that place were crazy. You had to have a phone app where you checked yourself and geolocation every 30 minutes or the government would come and arrest you. You want to talk about a totalitarian state where the government will fuck you out of existence for fun? That's Australia. I never am ever going to listen to Australian on politics about why turning in your guns is good. They aren't a real country. They are a fake country.
Bro, I have no idea. Are they having a thing right now? I haven't been paying attention. They got some people down there?
They're very oppressive. Very oppressive.
Yeah, I don't know, brother. I don't know what to tell you.
The country has gone in ruin. The only thing we can do now is to come together and fight the evil. That's the only thing we can do, is fight the evil. There's no reason to let it stand by any longer. We have to bring the fight to them. Fuck these people and fuck everything that they're trying to do to tear the family apart and tear normalness apart.
I think it's important to remember that the history of mankind is a history of struggle. It's only ever been struggle. It's the same as if you're trying to, the human body, if you're trying to gain muscle mass, you're always perpetually.
You're always working against yourself. You're always working harder than you did yesterday. That's how we have moved forward as a society. That's how we got to the moon. That's how we're going to get to Mars.
Growing or shrinking or flourishing or dying. There's no such thing as homeostasis in nature or in any of the systems that sort of emerge from nature. There's no such thing as homeostasis.
You're either improving or you're getting worse. There's no in between. You don't really ever stay the same. You will always get better. That's how the human body works. That's how the human brain works. Anyone can be good at basically anything. There's natural talent, but there's a lot of hard work required. Natural talent is where you start. Hard work is where you'll end up.
Stasis. And I think compared to the battles our ancestors face, we have a pretty cushy gig here. I don't think we need to lament our position. We should keep in mind that just the history of mankind is a fight. It's a fight for resources, for influences, for culture, law and order versus chaos. And now's your time to sort of play your role in history. And I think we should have an optimistic attitude and try to always do our best.
Yo, what's up, Sam?
That's what I've been trying to do, is be as optimistic as humanly possible and doing what I can to make what I feel is an effort, make people aware of what's happening in the world around them, and trying to make people know that common sense still exists. There will always be bad actors on both sides. The best thing you do right now is call it out.
Sammy, rough times, but chin up, chest out. Reject the black pill. Thank you for the shit that you do, man.
Reject the black pill indeed.
Don't despair.
No, that's a sin for sure.
Hey, Sam.
The black pill is what led to Kirk getting assassinated. It is absolute despair, and it's giving up on the world and giving up your humanity and committing terrible acts against those around you. You should never take that. You should never go down that route. There is no real coming back. You will make a mistake, and you will not be the same once you're on the other side of that trip.
I'm seeing a lot of discourse about specifically that now that Charlie Kirk is gone, that like a powerful voice is gone, and that a certain amount of fighting or fight that was going to happen is now not going to happen because obviously he's passed. And when I see that stuff, I realize that it's occurring to me that like it seems to not really even matter whether or not anyone is here to do the fight, because someone's going to be like being there for a mouthpiece to something, and whether or not he was even going to make a difference or was making a difference, it feels like everything's just replaceable. And like this death is obviously going to have huge impact on the culture, or at least the cultural conversation for the moment, but it just feels kind of like I'm watching this fake reality play out, you know, like I mean, we don't know the shooter, you know, the guy on the roof disappeared, but I don't know if we ever will know, but I feel like we know.
Best intel agency in the world, Cash Patel couldn't find this fucking guy in 2 days. His dad had to turn him in.
You know, but it's more of just a warning, it seems like this really could happen to anybody, even if you're quote unquote protected, even if you're playing the game, you know.
It's not a fake reality, it's real reality, and it's hard to process, but it's real.
You need to process it, though. To disconnect from reality is the worst thing you could possibly do. You need to understand this is real, this is happening, and that's the only way you're going to be able to accept it and move forward.
Someone will pick up the microphone and carry on what...
Someone will, but they will not be the same. It will be someone different. Charlie Kirk was his own individual person. We are not replaceable, interchangeable parts. We are our own people.
Charlie was doing. The world's never going to be the same. The right wing, the American right, is never going to be the same. And this generation of young people, this huge amount of young people who were fans of Charlie, and moderate, reasonable people who watched him get murdered in HD, they'll never be the same. So it's a phase change. It's a big shift. It's a
polarization point. It's a turning point.
It's one of the weeks where decades happens, but it is. I assure you, it's real. It is happening. It has happened. It will continue to happen. This is your life now.
Yo, Sammy, what's up, man? Big fan of the show. Thanks.
All right, I'm gonna see if there's anything else. He moves on to another chapter. I'm gonna skip the phone calls.
Charlie Kirk's murder will be in vain. I'll just read this. Charlie Kirk's murder, is revealing who is unfit for civilized society. People who are glad that a father, husband, and innocent man died. They're not interested in remedying their spiritual and mental illness. They just want you to die instead. I'd say the majority of us, patient, sensible, mildly optimistic, are just about done waiting for things to improve. We're very much invested in never being around you people ever again, and there's a new feeling of readiness to actively ensure that becomes a reality. These people should no longer feel comfortable around us. They should hide, and when they're detected, they should be shameful, groveling, and apologizing unceasingly.
It's true.
The casual celebrations of Charlie Kirk's murder, and Irinya Zarutska's murder should be...
Assassination versus murder. A murder and assassination are the same, but an assassination carries the context behind them.
Documented.
More context behind it.
And the people behind them should be exposed. I'd really like to add indifferent to the list, too.
But I'm being nice.
There will be a list, an actual spreadsheet of all the information on these people. They should not be harmed. They should merely have every material possession taken from them and every social opportunity withheld as long as they are unrepentant. This is totalitarian.
There is a difference between Republican. There's a difference between right-wingers and left-wingers. Left is a cult of ideology that requires constant self-flagellation, constant self-damage. And once you're out, and you're rejected. There is no apologizing. There is no acceptance. If you're out, you're out. That's it. We have to come to an understanding that people may be in the cult and they might be able to come back. And if they are showing signs of being a decent human being, they need to be treated as such. And I know that's going to be hard for a lot of people to swallow. There's a lot of people cheering right now when they realize, wow, this was really fucked up with me. I saw the video. I can't believe this. You can hold it over their heads. But at some point, we're going to have to move forward, and this person is no longer going to be the same radical. They've been brought back to reality. They don't need to be treated like a radical anymore.
Or whatever, so maybe not. I do know there is a misunderstanding of freedom. It is sometimes mistaken for license, which is, quote unquote, do whatever you want. True freedom, however, is only freedom from the bondage of sin, the freedom to willingly choose good. The entirety of the media exhibits them thriving, going unchecked while they film TikToks about transing children between teaching elementary school classes. Hundreds of thousands of likes for brazen, satanic victory laps.
We literally need Hitler.
Yeah, I've seen people make direct calls that if Hitler won, this wouldn't have happened. Like, there's some crazy right-wing radicals that make the point of this was shit he was pushing against, and he was fucking crazy, but what he was saying would have probably worked and wouldn't be happening right now had he won, which, fucking crazy, but that's why people like Nick Fuentes saying we need a white-only America and white-only politicians are gaining political ground.
After Charlie Kirk's assassination, I was reminded of a quote that I read several days ago from St. Thais the Athonite, and it was going over my head for many days, but now I think I know why. I read it and it stayed in my memory. I'll read it to you a little bit. God takes each person at the most fitting moment of their life. No one has ever signed a contract with God about when they will die. God takes every person at the moment most suitable for them, uniquely chosen for each one, in order to save their soul. If God sees that person will become better, he allows them to live. But if he sees that person will become even worse, he takes them in order to save them.
I don't know what that means if that means that Charlie Kirk was about to become worse.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk was about to become literally Hitler. You have the meme that has like over 1 million likes on it now, or damn near close, of saying there's little youth Hitlers, what they called Charlie Kirk. Like, these are the people we're talking to. Charlie Kirk, a guy the guy willing to engage anyone in open debate, being called a youth Hitler organizer, is fucking crazy.
Worse.
Yeah. Well, theologically, I don't know.
I think his heart's in the right place, but that sounded like gibberish.
Hey, it's good to want to know God more.
Sure. I like that.
But it's a sin to assume to know God's will and intentions. So
that sounds scary.
You can't never know what God is thinking. Yeah, you are not God. I'm not as religious as I probably should be.
And I'll wrap this up by saying that there are a lot of details and things to get caught up in on your phone, and there's going to be a lot of AI enhanced logos and fruity little distractions to get caught up in.
Like the first day, or when the FBI finally released the photo of him and he was wearing a white shirt, and then some unhinged leftist retard photoshopped a MAGA shirt onto him, and then you had every 20 IQ retard running with that, opposed to what the FBI literally released. Took 2 seconds to fact check. Spammed everywhere on social media for a day before it got taken down because people realized, oh, I'm a fucking retard and I'm showing everyone. Wait, I gotta, my bad. They won't acknowledge their mistake. They'll just delete it and act like it never happened. There's no humility in that.
And paths to go down, and things that are important, things that are not important, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, we are in a spiritual battle for the future, for our children, for our people, for humanity.
For humanity. Yeah, I was about to say, we're in the battle for fucking humanity.
I think that we should be optimistic. The black pill is for faggots, and
the black pill is for people who want revenge. That is not the way.
Don't be that. Don't be black pill. Don't let evil stand in the way of you connecting with joy and gratitude and God. And I think that it's probably a good idea to pray, and pray specifically that God keeps you on the right path. I think that that's a good one. Is there a better one?
It's a pretty good one.
I would pray that I stay on the rails. I think that's a good one to go with. I think that we're going to win. I don't know why.
I think we need more leadership now than ever. We don't need Joe Biden calling half of America fascists, saying there will be a winter of death and anyone that voted for MAGA was a fascist. We don't need the Joe Biden with the red lights looking something out of World War II, Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany. We don't need that. We need Trump to make an emotional appeal to everyone. And I don't know if he will. I don't think so at this point. We need leadership that works. We need people who are calling for Kirk's death in fucking handcuffs. The people cheering, they need to be exiled. They don't need to be in handcuffs.
Why would I say that?
Well, because it's been written.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
That's good to
In
know.
the end, we win, but it might be ugly to get there.
Guys, I want to quote my favorite philosopher, Batman. Once there was only dark. If you have, that's the quote. That's not even a quote. No. Make the Chat GPT do the fucking quote.
Make it think harder.
You're right. I cut it down too much before. I wish AI was sentient so I could fucking beat its ass.
I wish AI was sentient so it could know I hate it and I'm racist to it. Please, God, give it sentience. I wanted to know what clanker means.
I want to end this episode with a quote. I'll tell you, Marty. I've been up in that room looking out those windows every night here, just thinking. It's just one story. The oldest. Light versus dark. Well, I know we ain't in Alaska, but it appears to me that the other guy says this part, the dark has more territory. A lot more. You ask me, that's not the quote. Fuck this.
Well, I think they cut to a bunch of stars, so if we could cut, it's a visual.
Just wrap it what Valentine said.
All right, I'm gonna get there. That was a good video by Sam Hyde. Like I said, he's gonna be a little crass, he's a little more provocateur with his speech. But I do apologize for being so long today. This was a long video, and I don't like talking over the videos because I know that it's hard for some people to be able to do both. I also am like the way my brain works is I'm constantly thinking about what people are going to say and what they're trying to say. And if someone is talking too slow, it's a personal hell for me. I hated school my entire childhood because of it, because I always had teachers that were way too fucking slow. But I digress. I think that this was a better video to explain the political climate in America for maybe someone who isn't an American or someone who has not been looking that heavily at his death or the death of the Ukrainian refugee. I genuinely think this would be an amazing video for them. This is something people need to understand. There is evil in America, and right now it's winning. But but hope is not lost. There's still a good chance that we can come through this. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you liked the video, feel free to like it, comment down below, or subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you guys think. I have not watched much Sam stuff in the past. I always thought he was an extreme right-winger, and then he came out with a banger video about H-1B visa to Elon Musk. And I agreed with it. And now he's come out with another banger video. And I think occasionally this man's right. Boy, this could be a broken clock, right twice a day kind of situation. But I think this is a good video. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful time. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, later.